And call to order the Tipton Community School Board meeting for June 9th. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance and our vision statement.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Growing empowered, future-ready students who are prepared for a lifetime of opportunity and success.
All right, next on our agenda is a topic we call Tell Me Something Good. It's an opportunity for the board to make note of something they've observed in the school or on the campus since the last time we've met. So I'll open the floor up to Tell Me Something Good.
I thought graduation went wonderfully, and I thought graduation went very nicely, and I think we owe a thanks to Mrs. Kesterson
Yep.
and the other people who helped her with graduation, students and other teachers, and it was just a nice day.
I would just say along that same lines, just a great, huge thank you to the guidance department and the high school, just for all their work on senior awards. I know that involves a lot more than just probably even their department. But along with that, just what an incredible community we have, just looking at the foundation and the just donors who give so much to our students. I think with the adding in one missed scholarship, I think we're over $1 million was awarded this year. And I just think that's a huge credit to our community to just encourage our students and promote higher education, but even in a lot of different places, whether it's in our tech schools or just was really, really a special night.
Thank you all for that. Next, we'll move on to our Blue Future Awards. I'll hand that over to Mr. Jaworski to get us kicked off.
Actually, we'll go ahead and start with the high school, and we'll have Mr. Leach step on up.
Yeah.
Turn the microphone.
Just turn it this, there you go. Okay. That's why you're the
Problem
principal.
solving. Right. Just got to rely on good people to tell me how to do it. All right. So I have several Blue Future awards, people that I wanted to recognize this school year. First, since I see that he's actually here for this, Caden Wagaman, if you want to come on down. It's kind of funny. We had senior awards, and Caden was also supposed to be recognized for this award on senior awards night. And he wasn't there, which is it made for a pretty enjoyable and funny thing because I'm actually recognizing him for perfect attendance, and not just perfect attendance. This is like Mrs. Wright perfect attendance. So there's like you're there every day. Maybe you had to go to some doctor's appointment. Maybe you had a tardy or something like that. But Caden was a senior that didn't do the senior skip day, didn't have tardies, didn't miss for anything during his senior year. So. As we celebrate high attendance rates, things at Tipton High School, and attendance is, showing up is one of the biggest things that you can do for success. Just wanted to take some time out to recognize Caden for being the only senior that we have achieving perfect attendance this school year. So congratulations, Caden. We'll take a picture soon. Unless you want to say something. All right, if I could get Josie, Brooke, Joanna, and Ava to pop up here, please. I wanted to recognize these four because they are the senior class officers for this year. I don't think I do a good job or have it to this point of recognizing the leadership, the students that put their names out there. They go through the election process. They get elected by their classmates to then lead the class the following year. So organizing, putting things together like the senior sunrise, senior sunset, putting themes together for anything senior thing and these four did an outstanding job. I think post-COVID, we lost a little bit of that in the high school, and each year it seems to get just a little bit better and a little bit better. And these four did an excellent job of putting in the time and representing the seniors well. My goal moving forward would be to represent or to recognize all of the officers at the beginning of the school year, but these are graduates, so they're going out the door. So I just wanted to take a minute to recognize them for all of their great work as class officers for the class of 26. Sorry, I had a lot this month. I was moved to recognize. If I could get Braxton, Quinn, I'm not sure I saw Quinn, Isla, and Kennedy to the front. And then Brogan. I don't think I saw Brogan either. Theme here. The guys aren't showing up. I also want to take some time this month to recognize our student council officers. So Brogan Ferg is our president. Kennedy was our vice president this year. Isla was the secretary. Quinn Smith was the treasurer, and then Braxton ran the PR office for the student council. Every year, Mrs. Clifford works with the student council to do a whole lot of things, planning homecoming. They also put together the teacher appreciation gifts and making that week special for our teachers. They did some holiday treats and funds this year, set up a 3-on-3 tournament. They also run the Pilgrim Cup food drive. And again, another group that year over year, we seem to add some more wrinkles and some more things. And the things that these guys do make the culture of Tipton High School better and better every year. So just wanted to recognize our student council officers this year. Thank you. Okay, it's my last group, I promise. If I can get OG, Mr. Henderson, and I don't see Miss Robert. Oh, she's back there. All right, come on down. So every year we have officers. We have sponsors for every class in the high school. The freshman and sophomore year is pretty simple. It's basically just shirt design and maybe some themes for student council in terms of what the adults do. But junior year, it's always really tough to get people to take on that responsibility because of concessions and because of planning prom and doing all of those things. And the amount of work and the amount of hours that go into that, the stipend's nice, I'm sure, but it doesn't pay a very good hourly rate for the amount of work that they're putting in. I know that after my first year as principal, one of the most stressful things over the summer was trying to find junior class sponsors because of the scheduling. If you don't know, at the high school, every junior has to work 2 concessions in order to pay for their cap and gown and to attend prom as a junior. So that's just part of it. So this group has to organize that, keep track of everything, and make sure that the kids are doing what they're supposed to. And they've been great leaders in that. So wanted to recognize them for their time and effort and energy put in as junior class sponsors for this school year. Thank you.
If I could ask for Coach Henniger, Coach Felster, and Coach Murdoch to come on up for me, that would be wonderful. Okay. So historically, in the summer, it's been very, very difficult to get middle school students to be able to get to a board meeting just by virtue of vacations and them not having a car. So we didn't put a huge effort into getting the students here tonight. But I also, regardless, I'm going to talk about who they are. I'm also here to just make sure that I talk about these 3 wonderful individuals. And specifically, I would like to acknowledge these 3 individuals for their contributions over the course of the last, 2.5, 3 months? When did practicing officially start? In March? Okay, yeah, so 3 months now, right? In our track work that we did. Specifically, we ended the season. The MIC tournament was, I think, the very, very last event that they had. And not only the boys, but also the boys and the girls both swept the MIC Conference Championship, which is the first time that I know of that both of our boys and girls track team. In fact, when I arrived as the athletic director in 2021 at Tipton Middle School, I think our track team was like 10 kids. Like, it was tiny, right? But it has grown tremendously over the course of the last 5 years and gotten to the point that, of course, they managed to win our conference. Additionally, on top of that, we did break one record last year, but this year they said, you know what, forget one, let's go ahead and do three. So we had 3 different relays that we had students break the record in. In the girls 4x800 relay, congratulations go out to Monroe Stewart, Cami Condict, Zoe McMahon, and Macy Comer, who broke the, like I said, girls 4x800. Boys 4x800, apparently we're good at running distances in our track department. Eli Long, Braden Bannon, Brody Fakes, and Landon Gillum went ahead and broke the record there. Very exciting to see Landon Gillum breaking the record. He hasn't even stepped foot into the middle school for a day of classes as a 5th grader. So looking forward to seeing what comes from that. And then our 4x100 relay got broken as well. A particularly proud grandma, I think, is standing up here because both of her grandsons at the middle school were on that team, Kane DeLong and Griffin DeLong, as well as Griffin Gillum and Lincoln Hillis. So a lot of really exciting things happening in our track program, a group that really did phenomenal work. Not to get into it too much, I would not say that this was the easiest season for our track and field program. It started off with some difficulties just related to figuring out coaching staff, scheduling practices for individuals who had to ride our transportation until 4:30ish every single day. That required us to ask parent volunteers to come and help out. Shout out, by the way, to the 11 individuals who supported us in making sure that that was able to happen. But all of it came together in the most spectacular way, with not only records broken, but 2 MIC conference championships under their belt. So please join me in thanking Coach Murdoch, Coach Galster, and Coach Hedinger for their service this past season. Yes. Okay, thank you, guys. Okay.
All right, good evening. I'm Brian Johnson, and this is Sarah Wigington. We're TES administration. And this month, we are going to recognize 3 of our outgoing 5th graders. Each year, we recognize 3 5th graders for different awards on 5th grade award day. And so if I could have Cademan Bowman, Hank Ritchie, and Aisha Sharma come on up here. The first award went to Cademan Bowman. He was voted the kind kid in 5th grade. That is a award that is voted on by his peers. So all the kids vote, and Cademan came out with the most votes amongst his peers. The second award is for Hank Ritchie. He was voted the Extra Mile Award. That is for somebody that's overcome a specific challenge or challenges over their education career. And so he received that, and that was voted on by 5th grade teachers. And last but not least, Aisha Sharma. She was voted the Tipton Pride Award winner for 5th grade. That was voted on by us administrators, and that was for showing pride every day, all day, from kindergarten to 5th grade. So congratulations to all 3 of you.
The corporation TCSC Blue Future Award recipient this month is Officer Dave Maddox. Dave, would you mind joining me up here? Yeah, I'm going to make you stand for the whole time. It's you're not getting out of it. Over Dave's several years of SRO experience here at Tipton Community Schools, the hardest part of this award really was just deciding what name to put on the piece of paper, whether it was Officer Maddox, Chief Maddox, SRO Maddox. I settled on Dave Maddox because while he has Dave served in so many capacities for our school district. He's been a coach, teacher. He's been a friend, a mentor, a counselor, a father, and of course, a school resource officer. TCSC won't be the same without him, but we know that he won't be far away, and the door will always be open for him anytime that he wants. Except it won't be. It will be closed. It will be locked, because that's exactly what a good SRO would say. So please join me in congratulating.
Right. Well, thank you for those who came for the Blue Future Awards. Next, our agenda is comments from the community. We had none this evening. If you are not part of the consent agenda and you want to leave, this is the time to do it, or you'll be pulled into some really exciting conversations. But thank you again for coming for the Blue Future Awards. Next item is the consent agenda. We have the approval of our agenda for this evening, the approval of minutes from the regular session in May 12th, approval of claims, the payrolls of both May 22nd and June 5th, and the accounts payable claims for June 2026. We have approval of a personnel report, which I'll read at the conclusion of this. Approval of 2 field trips, one for high school basketball camp, June 22nd, St. Francis University, and one for middle school basketball camp, July 10th, at Indiana Wesleyan. We have the approval to accept donations, and I think that is all that we have. So I would be looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any further questions or comments? All right, I will be recusing myself from the vote this evening. We have a teacher who I've known her family since she was in kindergarten, so I am going to recuse myself from the vote this evening just to make sure there's no conflict. So we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Agenda is approved. Thank you. Next on our agenda is the superintendent's report. Mr. Jaworski, you are on. Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, I got to read this.
I was gonna say.
The second month in a row you've had to remind me to do this. All right, on our certified staff, we have a medical leave request from Olivia Gonzalez, resignation of Emily Byers, 6th grade ELA teacher, recommendations for Justin Copenhaver for math teacher for the high school, recommendation for Mackenzie Freed, 2nd grade teacher for the Tipton Elementary School, recommendation for Hannah Small, STEM teacher for the Tipton Elementary School, and a recommendation for Marcy Williams, 6th grade ELA teacher in the middle school. We have a reassignment of duties with Shelley Bittner transferring from 3rd grade to a 5th grade teacher in the elementary school. For Sherry Cottingham, a transfer from 4th grade to 3rd grade teacher at the elementary school. And Tommy Newton transferring from PE teacher to business teacher in the high school. Our classified staff retirements, we have Diane Spear, instructional assistant at the elementary school, the resignations of Tesha Holmes, the cafeteria worker in the middle school. We have non-renewals of Della Denham, the pre-K paraeducator, and Brett Foster, special education paraeducator, both in the elementary school. We have a non-renewal of Rochelle Scally, the PE assistant in the high school, and Julie Feltz, cafeteria worker in the middle school. We have a reduction in force of Larry Murdoch as a permanent substitute for the entire corporation, Pam Porter as a recess assistant in the elementary school, and Juanetta Key, who is an instructional assistant in the elementary school. Recommendations, we have Alexandra Gooden as a part-time pre-K teacher in the elementary school, Jackie Mainkey, part-time pre-K assistant in the elementary school, Sam Phillips for athletic assistant for the corporation, and Natasha Surface, a kindergarten adjunct teacher for the elementary school. Reassignment of duties, we have Nathan Geiger transferring from STEM paraeducator to the PE paraeducator in the elementary school. Valerie Boyd transfer from kindergarten paraeducator to special education paraeducator in the elementary school. Madison Holloway transferring from special education and kindergarten paraeducator to pre-kindergarten educator in the elementary school. Erica Hawkins transferring from kindergarten paraeducator to multilingual paraeducator in the elementary school. And Ashley Nguyen transferring from kindergarten teacher to pre-K teacher in the elementary school. From an ECA staff perspective, we have the resignation of Jason Bales as the 8th grade team lead. Emily Byers, National Junior Honor Society co-sponsor in the middle school. Adam Moats, the assistant wrestling coach for the high school. And ECA staff recommendations, we have Jessica Lyday, 7th grade team lead in the middle school, and Itzra Miller, 8th grade team lead in Tipton Middle School. Now we can move on to the superintendent's report.
If Tom Lyday ever gets laryngitis for graduation, I'll be recommending Rob Cochran as reading the names at graduation. Before we move on to the superintendent report, I do want to invite Mackenzie Freed and Jackie Mankey up front here. Yes, I'm going to bring you guys up front, new hires. Mackenzie is our 2nd grade new hire just approved, and Jackie is our pre-K paraeducator just approved. So just wanted to make sure the board got to see you guys. Not to put you on the spot, is there anything you want to say, or? Thank you, Mackenzie. Jackie?
My same thing, I'm excited to be joining.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Thank you very
for being
much.
here tonight.
Oh, sorry. Yes, my apologies. Mr. Copenhagen, can you please step up? Sorry. Justin Copenhagen, our new math teacher at the high school. So, any words you'd like to share with the board? My
Very
apologies.
excited to work at Tipton. Very excited to be part of the Tipton community.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Job.
All right. Next up, superintendent's report. So let me jump into that. Before I do, though, for those of you joining us on the live stream, or those you might not be familiar with the live stream, we've got a new feature on it. I have had times where I haven't been able to attend a board meeting, and I've had to watch the live stream. And I can tell you that anytime that we present on the screen, you cannot see that from the camera up there. So to kind of facilitate that, what is projected on the screen is now visible on the live stream and will be recorded as such. So if you're joining us virtually, you can now also enjoy the visuals we get to share. So kudos to everybody there. All right, so spotlight on schools for our June board meeting. Again, thank you to Stephen Gingrich and his IT team to help with the technical services for that. I want to start this by saying, once again, congratulations to our class of 2026. Again, this is a class that was in 8th grade when I started here at Tipton Community Schools. I actually had the pleasure of guest teaching one of their math classes and thoroughly enjoyed myself. It was kind of a core memory of mine since I was technically the last class I actually taught. So that's kind of special. Again, we're incredibly proud of them and what they've been able to accomplish in their careers here at TCSC, and we're looking forward to hearing about their future successes. So again, some of the faces of 2026 graduating class. Jen mentioned this, and she's already corrected one of my data points, so that's tough. But Senior Awards Night was last Thursday. Always an incredible evening. Huge kudos to our high school team, Mr. Leach, Mr. Lyday, Mrs. Capshaw, and especially for Mrs. Wright. She helps put that organized together. Always an incredible evening. The support and generosity of our community is unmatched. I've had that conversation every year with Dr. Glaze when he was in this role. And I remember when I was taking this position in the corporation, he said, this is one of the most generous communities that he's been a part of. And I would absolutely second that. The total scholarships awarded that evening, again, the numbers speak for themselves. Over $900,000. To Jen's point, I think it's actually maybe over $1 million, all scholarships considered. 59 students were recognized with awards throughout the night. 48 of those students received scholarships. Over 140 scholarships and awards were earned. 13 students received over $10,000 in scholarships. And obviously, the Lilly Endowment recipient, which appropriately went to Lilly and Cloud, brought home over $154,000 on her way to Taylor University. So again, just wanted to echo those on an excellent night, a huge celebration for our school district. And again, congratulations to our seniors. One more thing about the partying 2026 class. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge again our valedictorian and salutatorian. again, Alyssa Hoover, our salutatorian this year, leaving high school with more college credits than I could have ever dreamed of as a kid. So absolutely incredible job by her. And then Brogan, our valedictorian, honestly, I thought he probably should have gotten a seat on the stage because he was up there so often. So incredible work by those two. That's a career of dedication to academics and something that we absolutely celebrate at Tipton. Now for everybody's favorite graphs, attendance. And I can tell you this, having conversations with our administrative team this past month, this is something they've been looking forward to all year. Kind of get into the final numbers on this. So again, we track attendance. Obviously, if you have had a student in the schools, you have probably at some point, unless you're Kyle Wegman, have gotten a phone call about, hey, kid's not here. What's going on? We just want to check, make sure they're here. We notice and we care. What I will say is looking at this data, this is just the elementary right here. And Mrs. Wigington is especially proud of this. A couple of years ago, we were in each quarter, 66%, 62, dipped down to 50% in third quarter, then back up to 66. Again, we typically see that dip in third quarter. We had tasked our administration at that point, hey, our attendance is not acceptable. We need to see a growth in this. I don't know how else to do other than say, wow, absolutely fantastic. And that's just our elementary. Again, elementary, in my opinion, is extremely challenging because a lot of times those kids, especially our primary kids, they don't have all their immune system built up. Sick days are going to happen. This includes sick days. So to go from where we're at in 2023, 2024 to where we are this year, north of 70%, finishing above 80%, in that fourth quarter, absolutely incredible job. I want to give a quick round of applause for elementary. When kids are here, they learn, and that's something that we're especially proud of. Speaking of proud of, also looking at the middle school. Also, they've got that broken graph there from 23, 24. That I will always remember as the winter of the flu that just absolutely decimated our attendance. But again, we recognize that. We also recognize it could still be better. And they have done that. Similar to the elementary, continuous growth quarter over quarter. Again, over 80%. That was a goal that we had set as a board in our strategic plan of getting our schools above 80% attendance. I'll be 100% honest. I thought that was extremely lofty. I thought, well, that's a nice goal to shoot for, guys. But, let's be realistic. They've crushed it. And we still have an additional year to improve on those results. And then even at the high school, start off a little bit weaker this year. Started off weaker this year, but it's all about growth, right? It's how we respond to that data. And again, kudos to Mrs. Wright, to Mr. Lyday, to Mr. Leach, and our entire high school team. We were able to turn around and we saw incredible growth in that final semester, in that final quarter. So again, across the corporation, seeing this kind of growth is fantastic. As a whole, we're hitting above that 80%. I'm ecstatic. One thing I do want to add, because while we track and monitor student attendance, we also do monitor staff attendance. And there were 5 staff who had perfect attendance this year. That would be Bryce Brown in our 5th grade, Angela Meister in 1st grade, Ashley Knight-Helser also in 1st grade. She's also a first-year teacher. Jessica Papey, a 7th grade science teacher. It's her first year at TCSC. And then Lauren Schramm, a first-year teacher of 2nd grade. So again, attendance is a big deal for us here at Tipton Community Schools, again, both for our students and our staff. And again, I just want to give a quick round of applause to everybody who's.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
What happens in third quarter?
Winter and illness, flu. It's flu season. It's just that time of year. And
Okay.
like I said, I will note the dip has not been as dramatic over the past couple of years. We've kind of emphasized not just with students and families, but also with our custodial crew. When we get into the third quarter months, we kind of put in some extra precautions, extra cleaning procedures to make sure that, germs that they're inevitable, they're going to happen. How much can we limit that capacity? And again, I think our team and even our food service team does an excellent job between lunches, making sure that things are cleaned up and nice. So again, great work all around. I want to take a moment here just to highlight our elementary summer school. We do still have kids in the building throughout the week. It's taking place June 2nd through June 18th. Again, summer school is a program designed to support our rising readers by giving them additional time, structure, and encouragement to strengthen key literacy skills. The first 2 weeks are focused on intervention and supports, with that final week being dedicated towards iRead. These are students who are going to retake the iRead exam. You'll recall last year the state instituted the rule that if a student doesn't pass iRead 3 and they don't have a good cause exemption, then they get retained in second grade. So what we're trying to do is make sure that we don't leave any of those students behind. We're going to work with those kids and make sure that they're successful. Just a typical morning for these kiddos begins with breakfast, morning meeting, giving students a positive and consistent start to their day. From there, students participate in targeted reading instruction, including phonics, decoding, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension work. They also work in small groups with teachers, take movement breaks, and practice strategies that help them read carefully, use text evidence, and build confidence as readers. They unfortunately do not have a playground right now. We'll get to that in just a minute, but they do have the opportunity to move around and get some of that energy out throughout the morning. Again, just a great example of our staff being intentional about meeting students where they're at and giving them the support they need to be successful. Again, we appreciate our teachers and staff who are making this opportunity possible for our summer school kids. So. And speaking of playground, if you've had a chance to spin around the building once or twice, you've probably noticed that the elementary playground is, for lack of better, wiped out. This is a part of a planned project, again, through a lot of support from our community sponsors. We have the Campbell Family Foundation, the Tipton County Foundation, and TESO helping contribute to this work. I want to give a huge shout out to the city of Tipton, including Dylan Dietrich and his team, as well as Cray Smith with the Tipton County Highway Department. They made quick work of that old playground and also the turf pellets that plagued it to an extent. Again, with the help of our facilities team, Eric Johnson and Mark Webster, we made quick work of it. And again, it'll be unavailable. We did make an announcement that the playground is closed for the next month or so. Again, leveling the ground, preparing it for installation. We're going to repurpose some of the rock on the south end of the playground there you see on the right-hand side. That's going to be repurposed to serve as a stone base in the rest of the space up north. On the very north end of the playground where it used to be, we're filling that in with some dirt. We're going to grow some grass, and we're going to have a nice green space for kids to play in as well. Again, we're going to host a groundbreaking ceremony for this Friday, weather permitting, at noon, again, with our generous donors. If all goes to plan, we should have a ribbon cutting ceremony at our Back to School Blue Devil Bash event on August 4th at 4 o'clock. Again, we invite students, families, and our community to join us for that event. Should be a blast. So that is my update for this week, or this month, I should say. Any questions? I yield back to you.
All right, next item on the agenda for this evening is the school meal cost discussion. We're going to have Adam, I believe, explain the recommended price changes.
Is my voice good enough, or do you need the mic?
Probably for online folks, the microphone.
That good? Yep. All right. Okay, so obviously it's detailed in that first line there, the general breakdown. This is more for answering questions for the most part, but as how we get to where we were, every year the state releases, the DOE releases a tool. It's an Excel spreadsheet. It's like 5 pages. And all you do is plug in all of the numbers from a certain month of the prior year that they chose. They run it through a factor that they choose, and then it gives you your weighted average cost for all of your meals, breakfast, lunch, because everything costs different, breakfast, lunch, each school's different, etc. So they figure out what the weighted balance cost is, and then they tell you what it should be based on their guidance. Oftentimes you've seen us in the past go with the state mandated minimum of 10 cents. This year we went with 10 cents for breakfast for high school lunch, but then 15 cents for the elementary middle school. And that was to get the weighted average to the suggested amount, because we were lagging behind, realistically. Doing the minimum every year, we were lagging behind. We were able to round down to the nearest nickel, so we only had to go with a weighted average of 3.25. And then basically you can play with the numbers in their tool. There's a estimator, a weighted average estimating tool, and you can plug in numbers and adjust the high school, the middle school, elementary, and try and bring that average up. And it seems like the most efficient way to do that was 10 cents for the high school, 10 cents for all across the board breakfast, 15 for elementary, 15 for middle school. So that Excel tool is a lot of data, and it's quite a few pages, but I'm happy to show it to you guys if you want, or I can stay after and show you guys if you want. But realistically, it's just plug in the numbers, get their answer, and then get to your pricing. So, questions on how that tool works or where we're at pricing wise?
What daily breakfast is 10 cents?
Say it again one more time.
That was
That's
the
it.
increase.
What is
Oh, yeah,
breakfast?
it was 210. It moves to 220.
Okay,
Yeah, 10 cents. Sorry, 10-cent increase for breakfast, 10-cent increase for high school lunch, and then 15.50 for
got it.
elementary middle. Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have any idea if that, like, comparison to other schools, is that, are we?
It's kind of all over the place because of the fact that as we discussed, like the state minimum, your choice is 10 cents if you don't have a positive account balance. So right there, over a period of 3 years, everyone can be wildly different because if you had a positive account balance and you think it's fiscally responsible to not increase prices because of how much money you have, you can afford to burn some off, that you might not raise prices at all, which we've done 2 or 3 times in the last 6 years or so, 7 years. And other times when you don't, you have to do the minimum 10, but they recommend, like at one point for us, they were recommending 19, and we did the minimum of 10 in an effort to just help ease that cost for families. And we had some runway in the account that we kind of burned down on. So it varies wildly. Okay. There are some schools that are in the $4 range. There's some schools that are still under $3. I was talking to somebody the other day. I think it was $2.85 or $2.75. So it all depends on how much money the account has and how many times they foregone the.
See, I can ask as many questions as I want, because you already put me on this committee.
Yeah, you're on the committee.
I'm here. I'm not gonna get stuck on another committee.
I'll get you access to that Excel sheet.
That Excel sheet,
Yeah.
Love me. So, any other questions? I mean, realistically, that's the long short of it. It's fairly straightforward.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate it. Next item on our agenda is the department reports. There was Adam's food service report, the director of technology report from Stephen, and Colin's athletic director report. I don't know if anybody had any questions or comments on any of the department reports. All right. Moving on, our financial report, we give it to Brooke Cleaver.
Thank you. For May, we ended the month in education with $902,563.34. Operations fund, $1,382,914.45. Debt service, $2,120,705.09. And the rainy day fund remains at $2,035,833.41. We did secure our advanced tax draw in May before the end of the month, with just over $1.5 million going to operations and debt service. Medicaid reimbursements for the month totaled $3,314.30, and interest earnings $12,655.31. And I will be setting up our first debt service payments by the end of the month.
Questions for Brooke on the financials? All right. Moving on to old business, we have the second reading for the legislative updates for the 2026 session. In your packet are the legislative updates to the CCHA policies and administrative guidelines from the recently completed 2026 session. No changes are needed. I'll need a motion to adopt these board policies, administrative guidelines, and forms that were listed in your packet this month and again last month.
I move to approve the second reading for legislative updates from the 2026 session.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the legislative updates for the 2026 session. Any questions? Further comments? All right. Given none, all those in favor of approving on second reading the legislative updates from the 26th session, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Policies are approved. Moving on to new business, we do have the approval of the 2026-27 school meal costs that were just detailed by Adam. This is a recommendation to approve our students' lunch prices for the 2026 and 2027 school year. Each year, the district reviews lunch pricing using the Department of Education's Paid Lunch Equity, or PLE, tool. And based on that calculation, our required weighted average lunch price for the 2026-2027 school year is now $3.25. Historically, we've used the lowest recommended increase possible in order to limit the financial impact on families for the 2026 and 2027 school year. The recommended adjustment includes a 10-cent increase at the high school, moving the high school lunch price from $3.40 to $3.50. It also includes a 15-cent increase at both of the middle school and the elementary school, moving the middle school lunch price from $3.10 to $3.25, and the elementary lunch price from $3 to $3.15. When combined, these adjustments result in the required weighted average price of $3.25 as calculated through the DOE's paid lunch equity tool. It is recommended that the board approve the lunch price increases effective August 6, 2026. Need a motion and a second to approve the meal price increases.
I move to approve the 2026-2027 school meal costs as written in our packet and explained.
I'd have a motion and a second to approve the school meal cost increases. Any questions or further comments on that from the board?
Rob, I have a question.
Yes.
He mentioned in the presentation that breakfast would also be increased, and that's not stated in that. Do we need to amend that to include the breakfast increase to go from 10 or 210 to 220?
I move to include the increase in breakfast cost as well from 210 to 220 for the 2026-2027 school year.
Second.
All right, a motion and a second also to amend that. Thank you for that, Kim. Any further questions or comments? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of raising the 2026-2027 school meal cost, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Last item on the agenda is other matters to come before the board. We have our schedule of events. June 12th, we have a tentative playground groundbreaking ceremony. June 17th, there's a community forum in the Inferno, although I think that date's a little bit in flux. June 23rd, we'll have our school board retreat. June 23rd, also the possibility of a special public board meeting for the school. June 23rd through 28th is our 4-H fair, and our July meeting is changing from July 14th to July 21st to accommodate the fair. Is that correct? No.
That's
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yep, you're correct. All right. So, let me say that again. We're changing our July public school board meeting from July 14th to July 21st. All right. Any other items? If that, I'd be
Approve that.
public. Yeah. All right. Look for a motion and a second to adjourn.
I move to adjourn the June meeting.
Second?
A motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Eric wants 30 minutes in the tool.
I like tools like that.
I do too.